Hey, I want to welcome everyone to this installment of One SEO and Berge Creative Group on dealing with Google's pay-per-click. This is actually a topic I know very little about, so I'm actually very interested in learning more about it. All of these webinars so far have been really kind of outside my wheelhouse, and I'm learning an awful lot from these. And one of the neat things too is these are going to be available on our website in about a week or so, and then the new ones also going forward. So we'll let you all know about that. We'll let the rest of the chamber membership know about that. So these are going to live there. You can go back and take a look at them again, or if you think, let your colleagues know about it. That they'll be up on the website. They can take a look at it. I want to introduce real quick Tom Berge, and he can say a few words of welcome, and then we're going to turn it over to Bill Roselle from One SEO, and he can take it from there. Tom.
Good deal. Thank you, Steve. My name's Tom Berge. I own Berge Creative Group in Harleysville. I'm a partner with One SEO, and today I asked Bill Roselle, our VP of Client Relations, to join us and talk more about Google pay-per-click and how that engine works and how we can maximize it for your best interests and returns. So, Bill, take it away.
Hey, Tom and Steve, thank you very much for the intro. I'm excited to be back on for our second round here as it applies to looking at some different digital marketing and specifically how you can have an integrated strategy. I do see some familiar faces well, not faces, but some familiar names. Mary Ellen, welcome back, as well as a few others. So obviously there was something that positively came out of the first session where we talked about search engine optimization and the effectiveness of how having a collective search engine optimization campaign can be. So for us, today we're kind of moving forward in that strategy. Now that we set a good foundation in place as far as growing the business, one of the things is that search engine optimization takes time. That time is put forth in a method that allows you to be recognized as the authority online, continuing to put yourself out with good quality content and allowing yourself to be recognized, and then hopefully in the fourth installment, website design and development, get chosen. So for us, really pay-per-click, and there's a lot of factors that go into a great pay-per-click campaign, and hopefully some of the things that we can talk about today are being able to showcase specifically how being set up and doing the right keyword research, what text ads are, what Google's local service ads are, what remarketing is, what are the ranking factors, and then how, once again, do you go about maximizing your return on investment. So there might be some similarities as far as from the first session, but recap as far as for some of the people that are just joining for the first time. So with that being said, setting yourself up for success is really the key to making sure that you do the right things as it applies to the overall campaign itself. You have to take the opportunity to do your homework. And there's a lot of different things, and we kind of talked about this the last time as far as utilizing. One of them is obviously, if you don't have an AdWords account, utilizing Google Trends. It's a great way to look at identifying the times, days of the week, month, as far as when their search volume is most popular, okay, and how that search volume is indicative as far as interest over time, where it's been, how it's growing, seeing where it's gone from one period to the next, and being able to isolate specifically where it goes. Another key component of that, okay, are looking at Google AdWords and search volume and taking advantage of those trends. One of the things that's interesting is that you have to be in a situation that you allow yourself to be found and then get chosen, and having the right type of keyword searches. And what I'm going to do on the back end of the presentation is actually I'm going to go into a live example of looking at search trends. And I chose for the course of today's group to look at the terms of
Doing a webinar.
to look at the terms as it applies to Chamber of Commerce, so that we can see specifically in Bucks County how many times those terms are being searched and what the cost is for those particular search terms. So I think that Steve's going to find that pretty interesting. So with that being said, you know, there's a lot of misnomers about pay-per-click. Oh, it doesn't work. People don't use it. It's not a situation where I find it relevant. I don't use it. I always go straight to the organic, or I go straight to the local pack. Well, here's a thought for you. Okay, first and foremost, generally speaking, 28% of the population, when a query goes down, is going to look specifically at an ad. Okay. 28%. That means that 72%, excuse me, roughly around 70% are going to be in a situation where they're going to go to the organic. Google made 67 billion in profit last quarter. 67 billion in profit from only 30% of the search volume that's out there. So when you have roughly 1 billion new searches per day and 15% of those searches have never been seen in a query before by Google, you can bet that there's pretty good traffic going into the PPC side of things. However, what I want you to understand is don't throw money away on a bad PPC campaign. The average AdWords account wastes 67% of its budget on the wrong search terms, having the wrong campaigns, okay? Having the wrong modifiers, having the wrong aspects to that campaign to make it long-term successful. So PPC success is really one click away, okay? And there are different kinds of campaigns that you can run. You can run search campaigns, okay? Search campaigns outlined here in a mobile environment when somebody's looking for an HVAC company in Cherry Hill. Mobile, think about it. The average person scrolls on an average day on a mobile device the height of the Empire State Building. That's how much finger time is going through your phone on a daily basis. So what's Google doing? They're trying to make the mobile experience more focused on what's happening from an ad perspective, pushing down that relevancy of the organic end. Because what do they want you to do? They want you to click on that ad to call for that AC tune-up, okay? So, you know, there's a lot of different factors. There's a lot of different factors that go into specifically looking at those campaigns for success, okay? So first and foremost, I just want to explain what you see here is paid search campaigns, all right? Then there's display campaigns, okay? Display, I'm out on Bucks County Live. I see an ad that sits on that particular space. That site holds that placeholder, and whether it's in a retargeting display campaign or it's a it's a retargeting campaign or it's an actual placement campaign, okay? Then there's what's called customer matching, okay? So what Google wants to do is they want more people to click on your ads, okay? So what do they ultimately do is that you can say, hey, I want to serve people that I know. So for example, Hutchinson as an HVAC company has a multitude of services. People might not know that they do geothermal, one of the largest geothermal companies in the state of New Jersey. So what we do is you take the email list that they have on file, you upload it into the AdWords interface, and then what Google will do will feed that ad in the best possible position at the lowest possible cost, because they know your end user is going to be in a situation where they're going to click on that ad because they already know that you are relevant for them. So a great way to take your AdWords campaign and make it more effective and efficient for you is Google customer matching, okay? Geo-targeting. I can specifically say that I want to be in a situation, that specifically, let's say for the sake of argument, I want to target all of Bucks County, okay? But I want to exclude 19007. I just don't like Bristol, PA, where that one SEO office is, and I just don't want them to see my ads. So you can literally exclude that anybody doing a search from that particular zip code is not going to do it. You could do a search from a geo perspective and say, I want to do 10 miles from my location in all directions, and I want to exclude certain zip codes. I can exclude certain towns. So what you can do is ultimately put yourself in the best possible position for long-term success by understanding where the market works best for you and where you want to penetrate, so that you can have the right campaign set up from a search, a display, a customer matching, and a geo. All different things that are going to lead to success for you. Okay, so what are ranking factors? Okay, this ad that's in the #1 position right here, okay, action air, is in the #1 position for that query, right? We generally at One SEO want our ads to run in a position of anywhere from 1.8 to 2.2. So meaning it fluctuates between the first position and the second position. Why? Because we don't always think that the best position is the first position. Yes, emergency situations that sometimes place, if you're a garage door company, or if you're a plumber, or you're a heating and air conditioning company, you might want to look specifically at that first page positioning, and you want to see what's working and what's not working. But one of the major things is to understand is that you don't have to pay the most to be in the right position. And how does that happen? It happens by what's called quality score. Google rates every single keyword campaign with a quality score. So when you see HVAC repairs, Cherry Hill, okay, #1 is it's looking for heating and ventilation and air conditioning repairs in a geolocation of Cherry Hill. This company wants to come back relevant, okay? So now what ends up happening is that campaign is graded by Google. When you are and it's graded on a 1 through 10 score, okay? Understand quality score is like credit score. So if I walk into the Penn Community Bank, okay, if I walk into the Penn Community Bank and I have an 805, guess what? They're going to give me a 30-year fixed at 3.99%. If I walk into the Penn Community Bank with a 505, they're going to say, Mr. Russell, you need to go back, get 20% down, get a cosigner, and then we're going to charge you 9.9%. Google's the same way. On their quality score on a 1 to 10, okay, on a 1 to 10, it's a situation that the lower the quality score of that particular campaign, the more you're going to be charged for that. So where the bid pricing might be on the term Chamber of Commerce, $3, okay? But because there's such a low poor quality score, it puts you in a position that you now are going to pay up to 40% more for the cost of that. Because what Google's saying is that because of the quality score of this particular campaign, it's a scenario where they're going to have somebody click on their ad, they're going to go to that page, it's not going to be relevant, and then they're going to leave your site. They don't want that. They want you to interact. They want you to interact specifically with what's transpiring as far as on your site to create a conversion. When you have that conversion happens, it's a good experience. They want people to have a good landing page experience. They want the ad to be relevant to the page. So in other words, I don't want to take that AC repair page and put it to a situation where it's going to a plumbing repair page. Because what will end up happening is I'm looking for AC, I'm not looking for plumbers. So when that's a situation, when it's a situation that this scenario transpired, guess what's ended up happening is the end user is not going to have specifically what they want to happen. And then it's going to be a scenario where they are frustrated and they won't come back to where you are. So landing page quality and all ad relevance are all very important metrics that you can specifically want to view with your PPC standpoint, okay? So businesses using Google Ads make an average return of 2 to 1, okay? We generally speaking are looking anywhere from a 3 to 4 to 1 return on investment across the board with where our particular clients are as far as with regards to the way that they're coming back for the amount of revenue that's generated and based upon the number of leads that are generated on an average month. So one of the new things that's come out, okay, whether you have seen them or you haven't seen them because you haven't had to go for that search query yet, okay, is looking specifically at Google local service ads. Okay, if you're a service-based business, they're coming now out with these ads across the board. Okay, plumbers, painters, roofers, dog walkers, anybody that's going to offer a service in a service-based environment, this is Google's answer to Angie's List and Home Advisor. It's a cost per call. So in the situation of having these top position search results, you're also given the Google Guarantee badge. And so what that does is Google will guarantee the work in the home of that person because they put those people through the background checks necessary to up to $2,000 in damages if there were to be some type of damage that took place. So what Google's saying is that these are the most high-end clients that we have on our site, and this is the credibility in which they have. And so it's all based on a cost per lead. So if you're a service-based business, you should definitely look into whether or not you're involved in this particular program with Google, and if so, how can we help you to get you into the program? You have to go through the background investigation that they put out. So moving on, okay? Like I said, there's some strict criteria: verification of the business, online reviews, approved list of services. Your employees go through background checks, verification of your licenses, insurance. It is really the top end of what Google's offering as far as in the service-based environment, okay? And if it's, like I said, a situation where you get through that criterion, you get the Google Guaranteed badge. They're now coming out with the next, let's call it 2.0, which instead of being a service-based business, it's going to be the professional-based businesses, okay? And it's going to be called Google Professional Service or Google Professional Ads. Lawyers, real estate, banking. So if you're in any one of those particular fields, be looking for that. It's in beta in 3 cities right now across the country. But based upon the success that Google's seen with regards to what they have going on, there's a pretty good shot that you're going to see this in a not so distant future coming your way. Remarketing ads. If you are not doing remarketing, okay, as it applies to either on the Google Display Network or within social media on Facebook right now, write down the most important thing out of this webinar, more than any other thing that I'm going to be talking about today, is remarketing. It helps keep the journey alive for your end user. It increases your return on investment. The buyer's journey is so convoluted today that, hey, I go to look for a mortgage company. Looking my searches up, mortgages, Bucks County. Or I'm looking for a chamber of commerce. I go into the chamber site. All of a sudden now I'm in a situation where I leave the site because I get distracted. I get 1 in 3 times that I go to my phone, I'm going on Facebook or Instagram. Now I'm in a situation where I'm seeing your ad for the chamber on Instagram, okay? So long story short, it's a situation that if you don't do remarketing, you absolutely should. It's going to be the lowest cost per conversion that you have. And especially if you're in a competitive landscape, it keeps reminding your end users about the journey. It keeps reminding them about who you are, why they should come to you. What do you offer? What is your value proposition that's going to allow them to stand out and be ahead of the crowd? Okay, there's standard remarketing ads. I come to your site, I get hit with an ad. There's remarketing list for search ads. There's customer matching. You can do video remarketing. You can do email remarketing. It's crazy to the journey that you can put your new user and keep them as your user throughout the history of their journey prior to making a decision to be with you. All right, so moving on. And I talk about this all the time as far as it applies to when you're looking at running campaigns, okay? The model for the best data collection is in Google Analytics, okay? If you don't have Google Analytics installed on your site, it's probably not a good investment to try to do an AdWords campaign, because you're not going to see any return based upon what the data will show. And you have to make data-driven decisions as it applies to how you're going through that journey. Collect the data, analyze the behavior, track the results, understand specifically what's happening, okay? And there's a lot of different things within analytics that you can specifically look at throughout the course of the journey, okay? Because as I've told you, there's a lot of ways that people are assisted in their journey with you. Email, social, organic. I came through on a paid ad to your site. Oh, now I saw your ad on social media, okay? Now I came back and typed in oneseobcg.com. Well, and I pick up the phone and I call Tom at Berge Creative Group. Guess what ends up happening? Where that attribution starts wasn't on a paid ad looking for a digital marketing company in Hartleysville. That ad is being attributed directly to oneseobcg.com. So you would never give the credit because you didn't have the proper tracking set up and analytics to showcase your users and how they interact with your site and how that journey and that behavior is. It's pretty amazing when you look overall at how conversions are taking place. Okay, because here's where I can see that journey. This particular, conversion path, I had organic start the path and they went direct with this particular client. Paid, there were 89 conversions that would have never been counted, okay? 89 conversions that had never been counted on the paid side. If your average customer, like in this particular HVAC client, is an $800 per customer, okay, is in a situation where 89 conversions times $800, that's $71,000 during that period of time that would have never been counted. That would have never been counted. Just on that where they went paid to organic. You see they got another 75 conversions that happened where they went paid to direct. So it's very critical that you analyze the data to make sure you understand what's happening. I said this in the last seminar and I can't stress it enough. If you're not utilize call tracking and identify what's working and analyze your results to determine your return on investment, the average person's only going to spend 2.5 minutes on your website, 2.5 minutes max, okay? And when they do spend that 2.5 minutes, it's a situation where they can ultimately make or break if you're not understanding the way that the client is being interacted with by your team. So obviously reach a broad audience with a great integrated strategy. Get more qualified leads from PPC, okay? And stay connected with the potential customers and own your backyard. I think it's really, like I said, I was excited to pull this particular stat and showcase it to you as far as, and I'm sure that Steve's very interested to see, but literally I look at the term Chamber of Commerce, okay? And this is where you wanna know what's working and what's not working, okay? That term is searched and variations of that term are searched on the average month, 250, 220, 240, 270, 300, 270, 310, 230, 310. So you're getting anywhere, and this is the best part where you can look and see how trends are over time, okay? The volume has increased in the last 4 years, saying the chamber is more relevant as far as where its search volume was, as far as people looking to become and interacting with the local chamber of the Indian Valley. And you can see where the top of the range bids are. Okay, you can see what that perspective is, you know, and there's not a keyword query that you can't look at and see what the cost is for that, to understand, do you have the right budget to compete? Okay, as far as lawyers near me, average keyword cost is running top of the range, top of the page, $36.85. Divorce lawyers, $39. Change it around, okay? Understand what's going on from your knowledge of what's happening within the overall aspect. Mortgages. Look at how many searches for mortgages that take place in Bucks County on a monthly basis. On a monthly basis. Are you there or are you not there if you're a mortgage company? Are you relevant when you're trying to draw new leads? If I put the term mortgages, Bucks County, are you coming back for those particular terms? Or Montgomery County? And how does that particular play out for you? Because you don't have a shot at that business if you're not there and you're relevant for it. There was 13,000 times in July. 7,500 of them were from a mobile environment. Look at that. That number is incredible to look at the transformation. That's how much mobile plays a part in what you're doing. So I look back and say in 2015, the term mortgages, okay, 7,400, okay, 2,600 of them were in a mobile environment. Over 55% of them now are in a mobile environment as far as the search, comparatively to the 30% 4 years ago. So how is your site from a mobile environment changed? How's the design standpoint of a mobile environment changed? Those are going to be all factors that are going to help in your conversions and helping you to take the next step in making an effective PPC campaign. So with that being said, I, by all means, I am open to any kind of questions that might be out there if you want to throw them into the Q&A box. And yes, Tom, we can get the presentation out to you after the call. And by all means, either myself or Tom would be available to answer any questions you might have from that standpoint.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Perfect. Well, thank you, Bill. I haven't seen any questions come in yet. I'm sure everybody's digesting the information. What we'll do is we'll save this recording, we'll get it posted, and if anybody has any questions, you can reach out to myself or Bill. We will make sure that the email is attached and posted so that you can get in contact with us. Alrighty. Well, thank you very much, Bill and Steve. And
all right, thank you.
We will get this posted for everybody. Good deal. Thanks all.
All right, have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye all.